Hi, my name is Kristen Smerker and I'm from the Vare Rec Center. I am a leader too there, and I also run the gymnastics program over at Vare. And so what we're going to do today is, because of all the sports being canceled and things being canceled, we want you guys to have something fun to do and also be safe. So what we're going to do, some in-home stretches that you can do after you get permission from your parents. So once you get permission from your parents or guardian, then you can start some of the stretches that we're going to do today. Now, because we do gymnastics in the gym, we do a lot more of that, of the stretches, but we're going to do some of them today that you can do at home. Make sure you have space, that you're not going to hit the TV or a glass table or anything like that, and make sure that no animals or little kids are around, that you have space to actually do some movement. All right, here we go. So we have Davida here, who is one of my gymnastics students, and she's going to show you the stretches while I kind of talk about them. All right, here we go. So first thing we're going to do is going to jog around the room, and you can go in a circle, you can go up and down like she's doing here. You can go out in your yard and run around in the yard, wherever you have space. And if you can move your arms in a circle, right arm, left arm, kind of get that going. You want to do some knee up, so you want to bring your knees up to your belly and a couple times, and then you want to do some where you want to kick your butt actually with your heels, okay? After that, you want to walk on your toes, so you want to be like a ballerina, go up on high releve and walk back and forth on your toes. So you want to make sure that you take your time and not rush. Now, if you are in sports and you are used to stretching, then this might be easy for you. And if you're not, and you feel you want to try it, then just take it slow and don't do too many of anything, so that you can kind of build up to that strengthening and tone up your body. All right, so now we're going to go to the straddle stretches, which you're going to go right and left and then down to the middle. And you want to maybe hold it for 10, 15, 20 seconds on each side to really feel that stretch. Try to get your chin to your knee. And if you cannot reach your chin to your knee, that's okay. Just do the best you can. The main goal of this is to hold your body still, not to bop up and down, and to try to reach your hands to your ankles if you can do that. Then you go to the other side, same thing, hold it, and then to the middle. And you want to make sure your knees are turned up. And I always tell the kids, the little kids, make sure you pretend that your knees have eyeballs, and you want to make sure your knees are looking, the eyeballs are looking at the ceiling, and that'll help you keep your knees up. Don't let them roll in or roll too far back. Let them stay kind of even, straight. And then she's going to the Pike Stretch, which you put your feet together, hold that, chin down to your knees, 30 seconds to a minute, and you want to make sure that you hold it still, not up and down. And when you do that, you flex and point, flex and point. The next thing is you're going to the middle here, and you're doing a straddle hold. So you want to hold your hips up, but your belly to the floor. You want to, when you're doing that straddle stretch with your belly to the floor, you want to make sure that your hips and knees and toes are even as much as you possibly can, and keep them straight. If you cannot keep your legs straight, that's okay. You just do the best you can in keeping your legs as straight as you can. If you have to bend them a little bit, that's okay. And you want to try to get your belly to the floor. If you cannot reach your belly to the floor, just go as far as you can. The main goal is to stay very still for that 30 seconds to a minute. So you want to start out with putting one leg forward, bent, and one leg straight, and lunge into it. Have your feet away from your knee, and stretch, keep your legs straight in the front, and hold that position. Probably hold each thing for like 30 seconds to a minute. And when you have your knee bent in the front, you want to make sure your toes are out away from your knee, so that you can really feel that lunge into the stretch, so you can feel that pull, but not too much. So you want to go down as far as you can, hold it, and what I tell some of the kids is pretend you're a statue for that 30 seconds to a minute. Okay, you do both legs right and left. Then you go down to your split. Of course, if you have a split already, that'll be easy. Hold that for a minute or so. If you don't, just make sure your back knee is turned under, your legs are straight as possible, and hold that position. Now she's going to her other leg, and same thing, you want to stretch it out really good first. Take your time, don't rush it. You never go right into a split. You take your time and do the other stretches first. And then you go down and you want to hold that 30 seconds to a minute. Now these are called the fives. We do the fives in class, and we do 5 of everything. So 5 lemon squeezes, 5 flutter kicks, 5 V-ups. So we do 5 of each, but you can do less, you can do more. You can kind of decide how and where you're at with this. So what your most important goal is to keep your shape as much as possible. So you want to have a hollow shape, which you want your knees to your feet off the floor, your ribs tucked in, and your shoulders and head off the floor. Arms above your head if you can do that, if not, wherever it's comfortable. But try not to put your feet to the floor at all, or your hands. And you want to keep that position, and you're going from, she's right now getting ready to do the pike stretches. So after you do lemon squeezes where you bring your knees to your chin while you're laying down, you do flutter kicks where you just bring your feet up and down in a hollow position, which your feet don't touch the floor. And you do that maybe 10 to 15 times or less depending on where you're at. And then you go to this is called the V-up, where you bring your chin to your knees with your legs straight, okay? And she's doing a couple of them. And then you do the flutter kicks where you crisscross. So you do the same thing, crisscross, and then straddle ups. You're just straddling up and bring your knees up. This one's called the fire hydrant. Obviously, you can see you're bringing your knee out to you're on your hands and knees and bring your knee out to the side. And what you want to do for this one is make sure your back is round. Make sure you have a round back. You don't want to arch back for this one. You want to make sure your back is nice and round. And you want to do right leg and left leg, and take your time. You don't want to go all the way. You don't want to go really high. It's not about going high or fast. It's just about lifting up a little bit and coming down. Lifting up a little bit and coming down. Okay, and you do right leg and left leg, of course, and that'll help you. Now we're doing the bridges. Of course, you want to make sure you don't do a back bend itself because you really could hurt yourself. You want to lay down on the floor, push up, hold it, do some rocks, bend the knees in front, lean forward, bring your chest to the other side of the room, and go back and forth, forward and back, pushing on your hands and feet. Then you want to bring your legs up and down one at a time without your feet touching the ground, both right leg and left leg. Right leg and left leg. You want to kind of do we call this the ballet bridge, where you really dip down as far as you can, hold it, and she stretches that again. And then we do tick-tocks, where you're just kicking forward and back. Depending on your level, if you don't have a back kick over, don't do this. But if you have a back kick over and you have space, you can go forward and back, kind of like a front walkover, back walkover. And then we have the squat stretches. So you want to squat down, pretending to hold take 10 boxes of pizza. You don't want to drop your pizza. You want to hold your arms up, shoulders up, and you want to squat maybe 3 times, 3 sets of 15 on each side, and make sure you're really feeling that stretch. The main thing is to hold your shape as much as possible. Don't rush it, and don't do the whole thing unless you feel that you're ready to do that. You can get a lot of stuff out of this by doing this. You can really get strong in your core, arms and legs, everywhere, if you take your time and don't overdo it. If you do something where you're trying to do 20 of something where you really only could do 10 good ones, then you defeat the whole purpose of the stretch. You want to make sure you do 5 or 10 of something rather than 20, because then you're going to lose the shape. And the shape is most important when you're doing any kind of stretching for gymnastics. And so I want you guys to have a good time. Make sure you ask first permission to do this. Make sure you have a safe space. And if you feel like it's a little too much, take your time and don't overdo it. Well, thank you very much for coming today, and we'll do this again. I had so much fun. And thank you, Davida, one of my gymnastics students, for doing this today. And although it's online and not here or in the gym, miss everybody, and hope that we all get back to the Parks and Rec soon. Thank you so much.